The 6 people I'm about to talk about didn't just play the game, they rewrote it. In this video, you'll learn the true stories of the 6 most influential business figures in the world. Jeff Bezos' story in particular will surprise you. Enjoy. Steve Jobs. Born in 1955 in Mountain View, California, to a working-class family. The first major turning point of his life happened on the very day he was born, when he was adopted. He enrolled at Reed College, but his education didn't last long. He only completed his first semester before dropping out. Despite everything, he never gave up. He slept on floors and returned Coca-Cola bottles just to afford food. Officially, he had dropped out of college, but there were certain classes he was deeply interested in, so he continued attending them whenever he had the chance. One of those classes was calligraphy. Years later, he would become the creator of the Macintosh, but at that time, he was going through one of the hardest periods of his life. Steve Jobs thought very differently from most people. For example, he credited the Macintosh's beautiful design to the calligraphy class I just mentioned. To him, everything in life was connected. In 1976, he founded Apple. In 1985, he was removed from the very company he had founded by its board of directors. Contrary to popular belief, the following 12 years were not a period of depression. Instead of falling into despair and complaining about life, he built Pixar and another company called Next during that time. Eventually, their paths crossed again. In 1997, Apple acquired Next and brought Jobs back. It was essentially an emergency rescue call. At that time, Apple had only 90 days of cash left. The company was on the verge of a catastrophic collapse. With his confidence and remarkable vision, Steve Jobs revived the company within just 2 years. Then came Apple's greatest turning point. The iMac, the iPod, iTunes, the iPhone, the iPad, and the App Store were introduced. Every one of these products had such an enormous impact that they redefined their entire categories. From that point forward, it was a period of extraordinary growth on the road to becoming the world's most valuable brand. In 2003, Steve Jobs was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, yet he continued working for another 8 years. On October 5, 2011, he passed away at the age of 56. The following morning, Tim Cook took over as CEO. The company that Jobs had saved with only 90 days of cash is now worth approximately $4 trillion. Despite all of life's hardships, he never once considered giving up. Bill Gates. I guess people born in 1955 have billionaire energy. Bill Gates grew up in Seattle. From childhood, his only obsession was mathematics and programming. He was so talented that by the age of 13, he was already developing real software. When he was 17, he and his school friend Paul Allen sold their first software to the city of Seattle for $20,000. He was also extremely successful academically. The first major turning point of his life came in 1975. One day, Bill Gates saw a magazine featuring the Altair 8800 personal computer on its cover. He immediately dropped out of Harvard University. He called the manufacturer and claimed that he had already developed a programming language for the computer and offered to license it. In reality, no such project even existed yet. They took him seriously and accepted the offer. Then he managed to actually develop the software before the deadline. The company he founded with Paul Allen was Microsoft. In 1980, IBM was looking for an operating system for its new personal computer. This became the biggest turning point of his life. Bill Gates didn't actually have such a system, but he had found a solution. He purchased the rights to an operating system from a small company for $50,000, improved it, and licensed it to IBM. The most critical detail came right here. He kept the ownership rights. That single decision gave Microsoft control over the software layer running beneath nearly every personal computer in the world. In 1999, Gates became the first person in modern history whose fortune exceeded $100 billion. In 2000, he stepped down as Microsoft's CEO. The journey of a brilliant man who dared to take risks became a career that reached its peak with billions of dollars. Elon Musk was born in Pretoria, South Africa in 1971. He had a difficult childhood. He was constantly bullied. The bullying became so severe that he was once thrown down a flight of stairs and injured badly enough to be hospitalized. As a result, he turned to books and computers as an escape. His life has been filled with turning points. At the age of 12, he created a video game and sold it to a magazine for $500. At 17, he moved to Canada completely on his own. His first company, Zip2, was sold for $307 million in 1999. His second company later became PayPal and was acquired by eBay for $1.5 billion in 2002. Musk continued investing almost all of the money he earned back into his businesses. SpaceX and Tesla were both on the verge of bankruptcy in 2008. The first 3 SpaceX rocket launches failed. The 4th launch was its final chance, and it succeeded. Tesla, meanwhile, survived thanks to an investment round that was completed on Christmas Eve in 2008. Elon Musk's greatest strength is that he never gives up. In 2024, SpaceX became the world's most valuable private company. Tesla is now the world's most valuable automobile company by market capitalization. In 2022, Elon Musk also acquired Twitter for $44 billion, renamed it X, and merged it with his artificial intelligence company, xAI. By most measures, Elon Musk is the richest person in the world. The journey of an extraordinary man becoming the greatest. Jeff Bezos became a senior vice president at a Wall Street hedge fund after graduating from Princeton University. Up until that point, he had a perfectly good and fairly ordinary life. In 1994, he experienced the one and greatest turning point of his life. Jeff Bezos quit his job and founded Amazon. His boss tried very hard to convince him not to make that decision. Jeff Bezos was deeply affected by that pressure. For the next 2 days, he evaluated his decision using what he called the regret minimization framework. He imagined himself at the age of 80 and asked which decision he would regret more. In the end, he left his job. While driving to Seattle with his wife, he wrote Amazon's business plan from the passenger seat of the car. Amazon began selling books out of a garage. During its first month, Bezos personally took the books to the post office for shipping. His business plan projected $74,000 in sales during the first year. Instead, Amazon generated $511,000 in sales in its very first year. The company went public in 1997. It launched Prime in 2005, AWS in 2006, and Kindle in 2007. In 2013, Bezos personally purchased The Washington Post for $250 million. He stepped down as CEO in 2021. At that time, Amazon's market value had reached $1.8 trillion. Later, he founded Blue Origin. He said his goal was to make it possible for millions of people to live and work in space. He even described it as his biggest project of his life, more important than everything he had done at Amazon. In my opinion, his story is the most unique. Taking risks is difficult for everyone, but taking a risk after you've already built a stable life is even harder. The way he made his decision through such a thoughtful method is truly admirable. Mark Zuckerberg started programming at an incredible level while he was still in middle school. His father noticed his progress and immediately hired a private software tutor. After only a few lessons, the tutor later said that there was almost nothing left that he could teach the boy. At Harvard University, Zuckerberg first created a website called FaceMash, which allowed students to compare photos of one another side by side. The site crashed Harvard's servers on its very first night, and Zuckerberg faced a disciplinary investigation. 3 months later, he launched the Facebook from his dorm room. Within the first 24 hours, more than 1,200 students had signed up. In 2004, he dropped out of Harvard. By 2012, Facebook had reached 1 billion users, and the company went public with a valuation of $100 billion. Over the following decade, Zuckerberg invested more than $40 billion into virtual reality and metaverse projects. The company's stock lost nearly 70% of its value. Everyone began questioning his decisions. After these developments, Mark Zuckerberg refused to let the company continue its decline. He made a radical decision and shifted Meta's direction aggressively toward artificial intelligence. The stock immediately quadrupled. In 2024, Meta generated $164.5 billion in revenue and $62.4 billion in net profit. Zuckerberg's personal fortune is estimated to be around $215 billion. There is no doubt that he is another extraordinary individual. Jensen Huang was born in Taiwan in 1963. The first major turning point in his life was not one he chose himself. When he was only 9 years old, his parents sent him and his brother to live with relatives in the United States. However, their relatives misunderstood the name of the school he was supposed to attend. Instead of enrolling him in a preparatory school for young men, they accidentally registered him at a reform school for troubled youth in rural Kentucky. Every day after classes, Huang cleaned the school's bathrooms. Later, he worked as a waiter at Denny's restaurant, both to earn money and to overcome his shyness. He was going through a period of hardship that most people would never be able to endure, yet he managed to overcome it. He earned his master's degree from Stanford University and later worked at LSI Logic and then AMD. In 1993, he founded NVIDIA at a Denny's restaurant in San Jose with 2 colleagues and only $40,000 in savings. The original idea was to develop graphics processors for video games. Later, he realized that these chips, capable of performing millions of calculations simultaneously for graphics, were also perfectly suited for training artificial intelligence models. He built the company's future around that insight. The AI industry turned out to need exactly the kind of technology NVIDIA had developed. In 2024, NVIDIA's revenue increased by 114%, reaching $130 billion. In October 2025, NVIDIA became the first publicly traded company in history to reach a market capitalization of $5 trillion. Huang still owns approximately 3.8% of the company he founded at a Denny's restaurant 32 years ago. His personal fortune is estimated to exceed $150 billion. He still serves as CEO, and he still appears at every product presentation wearing his signature black leather jacket. He is a true legend. Now you know their real stories. Every single one of them has an inspiring journey, and every one of those journeys is different. The only thing they all have in common is that they never gave up. We've reached the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because there are hundreds more stories like these waiting to be told. Thank you.